Hey everybody out there, I hope you guys are all doing well today. And today for you guys, I'm going to be profiling for you one of my favorite decks of all time. I've profiled this deck multiple times on the channel, I've taken it to many events competitively, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It is definitely one of my top 5 favorite decks of all time, and that is Galaxy Eyes. So if you guys don't know the history behind me and this deck, I've been playing this deck for a very long time. I've taken it to multiple YCSs throughout 2018, 2019, 2020, even a little bit before everything happened. Next over the last couple of years, it's probably the deck I use the most competitively next to Sky Striker. And then some other decks out there like Thunder Dragons and whatnot. It was definitely one of the ones that I took to multiple regionals, multiple YCSs, multiple locals. My good friend actually gave me this field center because I became more known for this deck than I did for Blue Eyes. And I've always loved this deck and the way it's played, because it functions somewhat similarly to Blue Eyes, with more of a little bit of a control aspect, which is really cool. So it has an element of big beaters and a little bit of control, and I just love that in the deck. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. We'll talk about it, but I just wanted to give you my history and background of the deck so you guys know where I'm coming from. So first off, we run our 3 Galaxy Eyes Dragon, as you can see here. Do not worry about the Ghost one. It is near mint. I only use the Ghost Galaxy Eyes for deck profiles, so it doesn't get damaged, because I have another one over here that I just unsleeved before I did this video. I keep this one. I love it. I got it from a good friend of mine, and I only strictly use it for deck profiles. Otherwise, it goes in double sleeves in the binder. So yeah, 3 Galaxy Eyes. It's very essential. It's very essential for multiple different reasons. Number 1, it's level 8. Number 2, it's got Galaxy and Photon in its name, which is important. Number 3 is something that people don't really notice, but it has big attack, and it'll help you get a lot of effects for a lot of your Galaxy Eyes monsters, your extra deck monsters, because it is a Galaxy Eyes or a Photon card. So that's very important to know. With the new Galaxy Eyes card, which I'm forgetting the name, which should be coming out probably, I hope, sometime this year later on. I don't know if it's going to be announced by the time this video comes out, but that will really help the deck, and I'll definitely do a deck update when that new support comes out. But for right now, this is what I'm playing, and this is what I'm liking. But it's very useful for multiple different reasons in the deck, and it's very nice to have as a 3-of in the deck. It's kind of a staple. Next, we run 2 Galaxy Brave. I kind of refer to this card in the deck, to people that don't know, as kind of like a pseudo, let's say a pseudo Blue Eyes alternate dragon. Kind of. This card will probably come out in the future, perhaps, once we get new support. But I'm still playing around with that. I've played with it online a little bit, just to see how it works. Haven't touched it since it got announced, so I'm just going to wait for the card to eventually come out and then play test then. But Double Galaxy Brave is really nice in the deck, and I like it as a 2-of. It can be used as a beater sometimes, but mainly you're going to use it to help go for Exceed plays. In addition to that, we run 2 Galaxy Knight, and people don't like Galaxy Knight, and I'm like, okay, I understand why you don't like Galaxy Knight, but it's such a good card. Like, it's pretty much an Exceed playmaker if you do proper setup, which is so easy to do in this deck nowadays. You just go for a Link play, you go for this, there you go, you have a level 8 and your Link monster, and you're good to go. Like, it's super easy to go for this guy. Never, ever, ever run it as a 3-of. If you want to run it as a 1-of, be my guest. But I like it as a 2-of because it's an Exceed playmaker, and in Master Rule 5, from playtesting, I have found this card to be good as a 2-of in the deck. So that's just me. Some people like building the deck differently, but I've always liked this card, and it's worked well as a 2-of in the deck. Next, probably the most expensive card of the deck, 3 Photon Orbital. Photon Orbital is key in your deck. You need it. There are cute little things we can do now. People think they're very essential to the deck, but I say no, they're not. But they are cute plays that you can do, and it does happen fairly often. Which is, you can use this with Union Carrier, which is something you gotta keep in the back of your mind now that we have Union Carrier, which is really cool. So I like this, using it with Union Carrier, which is cool because you can tutor it out. But it's pretty much a searcher for your deck. People discontent and disregard that 500 extra attack, but I'm not joking. I've won games because of that. Number 2, I've also done that before. I used it to boost up certain Exceed monsters to just help get over certain things or certain monsters. But for the most part, it usually doesn't matter, but it does come up. 3 Galaxy Soldier. I've had these secret rares forever. People, I use this card as bait more than I do for searching. And what do I mean by that? Out of your entire deck, if they don't know what Galaxy Eyes does, which can honestly say from 2 years playing this deck competitively at tournaments, people don't know what Galaxy Eyes does. They won't hit the Photon Orbital. They may hit it because they think it's an expensive card, I've literally been told, and that's why they're hitting it, because they think it does something. But they'll always, if they have a hand trap, if they have an Ash Blossom, if they have an Effect Veiler, or an Ogre, or whatever have you, mainly Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler in this situation, they're always going to use it against this. So if I'm looking at my hand, and I'm trying to go off, I will always usually lead with Galaxy Soldier, because it's cool if the effect goes off. That's nice, but I can use it for link fodder usually, if that's the case. But it baits out Ashes and Effect Failures, and from playing against multiple different players of multiple different skill sets, they'll hold their hand traps to for cards that they know what they do. They'll hold them. And so when you throw something out there that they know from ABC and other competitive decks that have played it, they're going to hit it. They won't hit the stuff that they don't know what it does. I'm being honest. Saying that, though, Galaxy Ice Soldier is amazing in the deck. It doesn't just help you go for Cyber Dragon Infinity, which is still integral in the deck to some degree, but it helps you. You can go for that. But you can use it for link plays as well, which is nice. It's a searcher for the deck that is really essential. It's not just going to be a situation where you're always going to be like in other decks. I'm going to use Galaxy Soldier's effect to search Galaxy Soldier's effect, special summon, overlay, go into infinity. Does that happen? Yes, it does. But you're going to be using it as a searcher mainly for other cards sometimes. I would say you're going to be using that effect to search other Galaxy cards and whatnot than just another Galaxy Soldier. 2 Galaxy Wizard. You can play around with this ratio. Some people like 1, some people like 2, some people like none. It's up to you. It's pretty much you tribute, you get to search. You can use level manipulation to make it a level 8 if you need to, or it can be used for level 4 Exceed plays. I like it in the deck. You don't have to run it. Don't forget also the search effect is not once per turn, which is why I used to love Soul Charge in this deck so much, because I could just bring it back and then just use the effect again. However, I would say it sometimes can get bricky, but no more than 2, and you could run 1 if you want to. 2 Photon Thrasher. It's pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. You're usually going to help this to go for some of your level 4 Exceed plays or for Link plays. It's a good starter card for the deck, I would say, when you're trying to go off. 2 Photon Vanisher. I don't know why people are running this at 3 of again. It kind of boondoggles me, if that's a word even. Because every time I play, I used to play this card at 3 of for probably 6 to 8 months. And then I started really watching when I was playing hands. And I was like, I'm drawing 2 of these and it's dead. This is not good. So I cut it down to 2 of, and I've never looked back. Because it gets bricky as a 3 of. Has a good effect. I don't discount that. It helps you set up, especially when you're going for your link play, because then you already have a Galaxy in your hand to use negation on your opponent's turn. Or you can search and then use trade-in to pitch it the Galaxy Eyes and draw 2 cards and continue a combo play if you need to. Or set up a board, depending upon what you draw, that is. But I found as a 3 of, it's too clunky. I just like it as a 2 of. I'm being completely honest. 1 Photon Answer. You could run this as a 1 or 2 of. It's up to you. I like it as a 1 of. It's nice to have, but it's just pretty much helping you go for Exceed and Link plays. And that's all. 1 Chaos Dragon Levineer. It's a good 1 of. You run an entire, besides your hand traps you run. everything's light. Like, a good chunk of your extra deck is light. Why not run it? Some people like running Melody because you can search out this and this. That's okay. I don't like waste. I don't get effects off engraved, so I kind of don't like Melody's effective pitch to search 2 cards. That's up to you. But I decided to pass on the Melody and instead just run the 1 Chaos Dragon Levineer because it's just a nice card to have in the deck. It can help perpetuate level 8 Exceed plays, be a good card in general. Just like it. It's a good tech card. 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Pretty straightforward there, guys. It's a good hand trap. Generic. Hits just about every deck out there under the sun. If you want to run Ghost Ogre, go right ahead. If you want to run DD Crow, go right ahead. Run whatever hand traps you want, but I like Ash because it hits multiple decks out there. 3 Photon Sanctuary. We do not cut this card because this is an instant, mind you, way to go into your Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon. This equals this. That's pretty much what you guys need to know. And that's why I love it in the deck. 2 Galaxy Eyes Expedition. Never, ever run this card as a 3 of. I'm going to say this again. Never, ever run this card as a 3 of. Experience from other people that have played this deck for years, and experience from me playing this deck for years in competitive play. At multiple tournaments, I'm telling you, don't run it as a 3 of. Great card. Amazing card. Love it. Love the card. Don't run it as a 3 of because it gets bricky. Just being honest. 1 Galaxy Zero. It's an extension. Helps you go for plays. 1 Galaxy Trance as well. Galaxy Trance, you could bump up to a 2 of if you want to, but I'm going to say this from playing this deck, like I've said, from experience, when Master Rule 5 came out, and even recently again, I tried it. I tried Galaxy Trance at 2 of, because I want to run the card as a 2 of. It is searchable, so it is a searchable thing you can easily search out from your deck when you need to. But here is the thing. It would become a dead draw because it does take some quote-unquote setup. So this is not going to be a situation where you're going to be using this card first turn. It's a situation where you're going to be going maybe turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. You see where I'm going. It's a backup card. Usually what I would always do is I would create my board and then search this. Because if they crack my board, then I'm going to go for this. So you see the situation, what I'm trying to say is, if I run it as a 2 of, it can become bricky. Up to you what you want to decide. Maybe you want to cut the Galaxy Zero and run 2 of it. Up to you. 2 trade-in. Not 3. Not 3. 2 is all you need. It just helps unclunk your brick hands and draw some cards if you need to. Not 3, though. 1 Rhoda. You run a whole bunch of warriors. It's fine. 1 Monster Reborn for combo extensions, because even though this is a big beater deck, it's a combo-oriented deck to some degree. So that's all for your spells. Onto your traps. 3 Infinite Impermanence. You can run whatever traps you want. If you want to run Solemn Judgment, run Solemn Judgment. If you want to run this, run that. Whatever. Consider this any trap card or anything else you want to put. If you want to run 6 hand traps, go ahead. But I like Impermanence still because it's just nice to have. And lastly, 2 Tachyon Transmigration. Why is this card good? Because the way I want to set this board up, and we'll talk about this later on, is pretty much think here. You draw this, and you have this on the field. You're usually going to have a Galaxy Eyes Dragon in hand. So I'm going to have a negation to some degree from here, a big Judgment card down here, kind of, and that doesn't count for what else I may have in my hand or in the back row, like a hand trap or something. So that's why I like this card in the deck as a 2 of. It's really nice. It's easy to set up. Run it as a 2 of. It's amazing. I've always run it as a 2 of ever since I rebuilt the deck. Extra deck, Field Center. Pretty straightforward. Thank you to my buddy for giving this to me. Number 107, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, Ghost Rare. You run it. It's still good. We used to use this a lot to out Colossus, Titan, but not so much anymore, but still a great card against certain matchups. Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, we run as a 1 of. Number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. Really, really good card. It's going to become better with the new support when that does come out, and I'll do an update. We run full armor, which is essential in the deck. We never ran Dark Matter, so it didn't matter. He was a doesn't. It's a bad joke. Galaxy Eyes Cipher Blade Dragon, really nice. This pretty much makes it dry. This is pretty much Trident. 2 essential to, you run 2 of it. Number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. This is kind of like your boss monster for Galaxy Eyes now when it comes to the Exceed department. Because you're always going to go for this when you're trying to make 2 level 8s usually. Number 38, Hope Harbinger Titanic Galaxy. I still run this in the deck. It's nice to have. It's pretty good. Then we also run Cyber Dragon Nova and also Cyber Dragon Infinity. So your Infinity little package there. For your link plays, Union Carrier, Dos, Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon. And last but not least, I'm running 1 Starleash Paladynamo. Do not discontent how decent this card is. I really, really like it. Because you get to banish something, and then if it dies, you get to draw a card. Yay. And then 1 Starleash Photon Dragon Blast, which you're going to go for more. The benefit of this deck, and the thing I really like about this deck now and how it's progressed and changed over the short period of time that we've had this deck under Master Rule 4 thus far, is for the fact that it has evolved to a point where it's not restricted by Master Rule 4 as much. So the problem we had before, and I'm going to say this from competitive play and competitive tournaments, the problem I had was before is I'd be like, okay, I have to make my Link monster before I can go off. I have to commit resources to it. Now I don't have to. Now I can just go for Exceed play after Exceed play and usually pump multiple big boys out on the field consistently, while also searching for more combo extenders and possibly even setting up a board. So that's why I love this deck now. It's really evolved. I've always loved the character Kite from Zexal. He's probably the only reason I ever watched Zexal was for Kite. So go Kite. I love you, man. You're awesome. You're pretty much Seto Kaiba in Zexal. You literally are. And you have big blue dragons that are big and have good effects. But until next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. Hope you guys all enjoyed and appreciate this deck profile. If you did, please give a big thumbs up down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you.